Hello, boys and girls. Oh, that noise hit just as I pressed the button. Goodness me. Gambling Blues, thank you for the sub. 21 months. And Matt Morris is in for a prime as well. They just exploded immediately. How are we doing? Happy Monday, one and all. I've got a rogue hair. I still haven't cut my hair, as you can see. There we go. That's solved that for now. I promise I will cut my hair at some point. How are we all? Are we all good? We've got the new camera set up. Look, I can bang the desk as much as I want and the camera's not shaking because it's attached to the wall. Isn't that snazzy? Oh, we've got subs flowing as well. Jim, thank you for the 7 months. Very kind of you. Early non-lead to legend release today? Absolutely not. Why would there be an early release? Oh dear. Right, let's do a YouTube intro, shall we? Oh look, here he is. Oh, don't I look pretty close up? Ooh, look, I've got my new big Batman behind me as well. He's replaced Stone Cold. I'm hoping by not having Stone Cold there, the camera will stop focusing on Stone Cold. It's less likely to focus on a massive Batman Funko. So fingers crossed, we'll also have fixed the autofocus problem as well. That is my goal. So, YouTube intro. What are we at? Where are we? Ooh. Only 6 games go until the end of the season. Oh, no, one take Kev ballsed it up. One take Kev ballsed it up. Pretend that didn't happen. We will try again. It'll be fine. Chris, you know what to do. He'll leave that in because he's a swine. I'm looking at you. 6 games to go until the end of the season. We are still top of the league, but we're only 4 points clear of 4th place. And we've lost our last 2 league games. So it's a little tighter than I would like. Fingers crossed, though. What you're about to witness is promotion to League One as champions and a lovely little bit of transfer window. There you go. We got there in the end. One take Kev, did it the second time. That's how it works, I think. Right, let's get stuck straight in. No one's perfect. I disagree. Have you seen my body of work? Why is it that every time I've done a OBS update today, and it seems that every time I switch to a different screen, it gives the notifications again, which OBS, this can't be your intention, surely, because this is nonsense. Because if I have to BRB midway through the stream, blimey. So we're just getting all the subs come back through again. So let me just test my theory. If we go back here, do we get all the subs again? No. If we go here, do we get all the subs again? No. Okay. I know Gambling Blues has shown up 3 times, so I don't know, perhaps it's afraid that I've missed them. Mola, thank you very much for the 300 bits. Is it still in Turkish? Everything's in Turkish. Everything's been in Turkish for 6 months. It's ridiculous, and they won't believe me when I tell them it's in Turkish. Twitch's solution is always, oh, just go and change the language. Oh, I didn't think of just changing the language. The dashboard and all that stuff is fine. It's in English. The language is set to English. It's just all the emails that I get from them are in Turkish and have been since the first email I got after they confirmed they'd set up the MGP stream team. So when they set up the stream team, they've messed something up and changed the language to Turkish and don't know how to change it back, apparently. But now the chat window in OBS is all in Turkish as well. So, and you monsters are making it worse by half of you typing in Turkish now. So the Twitch support will come in and have a look and go, well, this idiot telling us the chat's all in Turkish. It's just his chat typing in Turkish. What an idiot. There's nothing wrong here. And that'll set me back weeks. You bunch of monsters. This is why I missed out on that fancy pack of stuff they sent out to partners. Because they emailed you asking you where to send it, and I never saw the email because it was all in Turkish. This is why I didn't get my Twitch year in review. Because they sent it, but it was all in Turkish. Ridiculous. Right, if you missed the last stream, just to bring you up to speed with where we are. As you can see, we are top of the league, 6 games to go. But it's not quite as simple as that, because we have lost our last 2 league games against Fleetwood and Accrington. We're still to play Crawley, who are 2nd in the league, and Swindon, who are 3rd in the league. So, although we're looking good to win the league, and we've been top of the league for the majority of this season, if our poor form that's just started settles in for the rest of the season, we could easily find ourselves missing out on automatic promotion altogether and having to go into the dreaded playoffs. And if we do that, it'll be old enemy Notts County who forced that to happen as well, which would make things even worse. We've got beef with Notts County from the past. Luckily, we don't still have to play them, but we need to turn our form around and get some wins under our belts for this run-in. The other thing that's going on, we are starting to prepare transfer-wise for next season. We've got loads of money because of the cup runs we've had the last couple of years. We've got loads of money, loads of spare wage budget, loads of transfer budget. We've just made offers for basically every 5-star potential Premier League released player that we got through on the email. So hopefully we're going to get a lot of those confirmed as coming in as we start the conveyor belt here at Leamington. But job one is to get ourselves promoted. That's the plan. Everyone Google Translate your chat messages. In all seriousness, if you do that, I'm just going to time you out, because I am serious. That's going to make the problem worse. So, yes, it's hilarious. The few of you done it so far, hilarious. If you're a wang now and make the situation worse, you're getting timed out for it. Don't be a wang. Right. Cambridge want to get more money for Big Holman. That seems reasonable. Big Holman is, he's big. And he's called Holman. Well, if that's what they want, that's what we'll give them. £55 a week. I can cope with that. Right. Let's have a little... Oh, there you go. So Papa Georgiou's coming back for next year, which is lovely to see. I did have a good weekend. Thank you. I went to see The Batman, which is why I have a new The Batman 10-inch pop vinyl. Because I went to see the film. I actually got that on the way to the film. But I knew the film would be good. You haven't heard Wang in years. You have not been in these streams before, have you? I mean, that screams I'm new. As a family-friendly streamer who doesn't swear, I say Wang a lot. It's necessary. Thoughts on the film? It was good. That is my detailed review of The Batman. It was good. Right, we've got all these youngsters coming in. All I know about them is they were showing us 5-star potential when we took them on trial. So we'll have a proper look at them in the summer when they arrive. The priority now is to get us promoted. It's not to faff around looking at these rascals. Although Josh Cooper's signed another loan extension. He's still only 18. Next year will be his 3rd year on loan with us. We're developing this player for Crew by not really playing him very much. You're welcome, Crew. If my camera is now fixed to the wall, what happens when I stand up? There's another camera above it that we switch to, although I haven't set up a scene in OBS for that yet. So what'll actually happen if I have to raise the desk during this stream is you'll see a monitor move up in front of the camera you're looking at, and then there'll be like a minute and a half of fiddling while I set up a scene for the other camera that's up there, because I haven't got around to setting that up in OBS yet. Because, you know, OBS is all in Turkish now, so everything takes longer. Right, we're playing Stockport. We actually have 3 cameras attached to the wall. The overhead one is attached on a big bar that comes out over the top as well. So we've got 3 permanently fixed cameras on the wall now, which is excellent. How's Hayden Coulson played for Peterborough this season? He is trash. Can we throw him in the bin? Don't need him. He might be able to cope with League One next year, but he is not a Championship player. Hydrate. I shall. Oh, you're trying to kill me. I hydrated on instruction and now I'm choking on it. Oh, Jacob's trying to kill me. Make a note of that, mods. First warning, don't try and kill Kev. Ugh. Right, can we do a football, please? Doing a football around about now would be appreciated. It's funny because he was starting on Jonathan Woodgate. Well, perhaps he doesn't know what he's doing. Or perhaps he needs good play. I mean, how was he playing when he was starting? Was he any good? It could just be that he's not very good. Or maybe he needs good players around him for him to look better. Maybe he plays at the level of his teammates. You get some players like that. They look good in a good team, or look decent in a good team. Put them in a terrible team, and they look absolutely shocking. And we're a terrible team, and he has definitely not improved it. What a goal from little Kev! Oh! Let's have a look at that from the other angle. Oh, Mike, thank you very much for 30 months as well. That's rather super duper. What a goal that is. Bang. Stockport 0, Leamington 1. This is what we need. We need wins. We need goals. We need to turn this slumping form around and get this promotion confirmed. We absolutely do not want to be messing around with the playoffs this season, or any season ever, really. He was playing okay, but we were threatened with relegation that season. Neil Warnock dropped him straight away. Yeah, so it sounds like maybe he's one of those who plays slightly below the level of the players around him. So when he's a good team, when he's in a good team playing slightly below, yeah, he looks fine. When he's in a bad team, if he plays slightly below, he's clearly the weak link, and he is clearly one of the weak links when he plays. It's why he doesn't play very much. Can you choose to build a new stadium in FM? No, the board do it. It's football manager, not football director. Or football owner. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. We've conceded. Stockport have an enormous stadium. Seems unnecessary. Swindon, Crawley must be losing or not playing. Crawley are drawing 1-1 with Harrogate, which, as we all know, is basically Leeds. Just to get that one rolling for today. I can't even see what's going on in the other one. Right, let's not even worry about the playoffs. Let's not even think about the playoffs. Let's just win football matches. That's all that really matters here. We want to win some football matches. Ah! Wooster grasping it out of the sky. I found a Reddit post that seems they had the same issue with the language and fixed it. Is that the one where the fix is they say, I went into OBS and deleted some files and that fixed it? And then there's just one reply that says, what files? And they never actually explained what files. If it's that one, don't bother. I've already read that one. If there's one with an actual fix, that would be helpful. But the OBS side of things isn't the big issue. I need Twitch to change my language on their end so that the emails that I get from them are actually in English. So I don't miss out on things like Twitch socks or whatever it is they sent out earlier in the year, or the Twitch year in review, or more importantly, I'm planning on going to TwitchCon. So I'd quite like my ticket to be in English and my instructions for how to use said ticket to be in English. So we kind of need to get that sorted before TwitchCon. Otherwise, I'm going to spend the whole of TwitchCon badgering Twitch to prove to them that I don't speak Turkish. Just learn Turkish. That is ridiculously starting to look like the easier solution, because I mean, I've said before, you hear a lot of people, a lot of smaller creators than me talk about the good relationship they have with Twitch. I don't understand it. If you're watching Twitch, never spoken to anybody there. I've never had a partner manager allocated to me. I've never had a conversation with a single person who has anything to do with Twitch. I don't know if I've just slipped under the radar somehow, or they've not noticed me. They don't like me. Whatever it is, Twitch, please help. I really don't feel very wanted here at the moment. I'll go to YouTube. Don't think that I won't. I've done it before. You might have done, but not been able to read it because it's in Turkish. There's every chance that that's happened. But But bearing in mind, I've had a YouTube partner manager for years, and YouTube are forever suggesting that I start streaming over there. And I'd just like someone from Twitch to say to me, it would be enough at this point for someone from Twitch to just say to me, Kev, please don't. That will do as a starting point, because at least then that's some communication with somebody from Twitch. That would be a lovely starting point. It's one of the reasons why I'm going to TwitchCon, so I can say, can you, I just want to walk up to someone in a Twitch t-shirt and say, just out of interest, can you see me? Can you hear what I'm saying to you now? And then we'll start a conversation from there. Oh, there we go. We've taken the rant to an actual Twitch stream now. Maybe they'll notice me at this point. They don't want me bad-mouthing them on a stream, surely. Surely. Maybe the people in charge of Twitch don't like football. Well, that seems unlikely when the Streamer Showdown's been on the front page of Twitch multiple times. It's my 3 adaptability that's keeping Twitch from helping me, maybe. You'd lose out on money, Kev. All about. I don't know that I would lose out on money going to YouTube. I don't make as much money out of Twitch as some of you seem to think. The main concern I would have, in all seriousness, I would have to have a conversation with NordVPN and say, would you still sponsor the streams if they were on YouTube? And if they said yes, they pay me a lot more than I earn out of subs and stuff. It's rare that we hit 4 figures a month as a payment from Twitch. So I think I'd earn that on YouTube. Just from the advertising revenue from the replays being on there, I'd probably make that on YouTube in a month. So I know you get a lot of people who do really, really well on Twitch and not so well on YouTube, who suggest just making the switch from Twitch to YouTube would cost them money. I'm not sure it would for me. It would just be a case of, would I lose the sponsor? So I'd have to have the conversation with them. The contract is for them sponsoring my Twitch streams, not my YouTube streams. So I'd have to have a conversation with them about it. Would I get more views? Probably. Whenever I stream on YouTube, it's usually to between 1,000 and 2,000 people. But that's usually because there's a big reason to be there doing it. Like the game has just come out, or it's a particularly spicy transfer window or something, so we get a lot of people. I mean, I said to someone on Twitter, the only reason I'm still on Twitch is the Streamer Showdown. If it wasn't for the Streamer Showdown, I'd have moved to YouTube by now. It's fine if NordVPN leave. I heard Raid Shadow Legends fancy sponsoring everything. They don't pay as much as NordVPN. You know I've done Raid Shadow Legends before. NordVPN have been they've sponsored me for over a year now. Raid Shadow Legends have only ever done one-off sponsorships here and there. NordVPN pay me a monthly contract. NordVPN are the reason I stream as much as I do. Without them, we wouldn't be streaming as much. So if you are looking for a VPN, exclamation mark NordVPN, boys and girls. What's the point of a VPN? There's multiple points of a VPN. At its most basic, it protects your privacy. So if you're using like public Wi-Fi on your phone, it will protect your data, protect your privacy, make sure that the whoever owns the router or the ISP on that end doesn't know who you are and what you're up to. It can also help with things like preventing your ISP from throttling you because they can't monitor where your data is going. And the thing that I push it most for is the fact that it allows you to change your location to anywhere in the world. So if you want to watch something on the US Netflix, you can. If you want to watch iFollow in the UK on a Saturday afternoon, you can by moving your location abroad. If you're in another country and you want to watch English Disney Plus, you can. If you're in Brazil and want to buy Football Manager, you can. So that side of things, it's great. And NordVPN are the best one. And they have a really good deal on, which you can find out about by doing !NordVPN. Thank you to Nord for allowing the streams to continue. No, you can't buy Football Manager in Brazil. I think, is it Brazil and Japan where you can't buy Football Manager? You didn't used to be able to buy it in Germany either. It's all to do with the licensing stuff. But I'm pretty sure, I don't know if we've got any Brazilians in who can confirm. Pretty sure you can't buy Football Manager in Brazil. But the way around it is to just switch your location using NordVPN to a different place. And then just buy it that way. Easy. Problem solved. Godwin has... Oh, don't worry about that, Godwin. You can be a regular starter. Of course you can. My little sugar plum. Why would I not want you to be a regular starter? Chris is in. Everyone better start behaving now. If slow mode's on, it doesn't need to be on. That can come off. I know not how to turn it on or turn it off. Don't know why it's on. Don't know how long it's been on. Probably when I was messing around pressing buttons trying to work out how to change the language back from Turkish, I imagine I turned it on by mistake. Moore wants me to check on their youth player. What's your youth player called? I did the youth players, by the way. Can you believe it? Some of them had been on there over a year, and I actually done them. His name is Ian Moore. Feels like something out of Fight Club. There he is, look. Ian Moore. He plays for Manchester City. And we know nothing about him because we have attribute masking on. But that's Ian Moore. Campinod. Thank you for the sub. Also, just another betrayed Brit. Thank you for 7 months. It's Youth Intake Day. And as ever, our youth intake is Absolute Bobbins. Yay! It's a crime. I'm only on 65,000 channel points. Well, maybe you should stop gambling them away, Chris. I know what you're up to. Always gambling them away. I don't think this Balogun is related to Arsenal Balogun because he's like 15 years younger. Because we're in 2031. I think it's just a name that's being used for player regeneration. Pronounced Campino. That would make sense. Yeah, I don't know why we got a Portuguese kid come through our youth intake. I can only assume we've got a Portuguese staff member. Nope. No, we don't. Then I don't know why we got a Portuguese player through. Unless he's just Portuguese and like lives in Coventry, which is completely reasonable. He's got English and Angolan as additional nationalities. So I guess he was just born in Portugal and moved to England as a kid. When does the Non-League Legend job hunt start on YouTube? When I need a new job would be the obvious time, I guess. I have a Sandro Veloso in my save that's the same as your one last year. Yeah, he's one of the name in the game people. One of the Sports Interactive name in the game people. as is Hoy and Hal this year. Who chooses Coventry over Portugal? I mean, there's a large Portuguese community in Peterborough. I can't imagine why I don't think I would choose Peterborough over Portugal, but people move house. All right. Let's go beat Cambridge. Speaking of naming the game, is there an Azzopardi in my saviour? I've not seen an Azzopardi this year. He usually turns up. I've not seen him this year, though. This week, I learned if you type face in the game in the search bar, you see all the Sandro Veloso, Hoy and Hal devs and researchers in the game. Well, there we go. That is interesting. I think we established the good, what was the name of the good striker we had for Sheffield United last year as well? Tabakaru. I think he's another one. I think Tabakaru's another. Is it face in the game or not? I can't remember what the thing is called. That's a lovely goal from Papa Georgiou. Portuguese food is awesome. Give me an example of Portuguese food. All I'm thinking of is Nando's. Is that Portuguese food? I feel like Kev ignored my request. I didn't see your request, so probably didn't ignore it. Probably didn't see it. Fish stews. Can't say the idea of a fish stew appeals to me. I'm not a particularly fishy guy. Nando's is South African. I thought Nando's was Portuguese. Nando's is South African. Why have I got in my head that Nando's is Portuguese? Maybe the chain started in Portugal? It's both, is it? Okay. I mean, I'm not a massive Nando's fan. I've probably been to Nando's like 4 times in my life. This is where I'm going to upset everyone younger than about 25. It's just chicken and chips, isn't it? Obviously, if you're under 25, you love it because you have to love it because it's cool. But for those of us who are a little bit older, I'm sure the majority of the older people among us will agree that it's just chicken and chips. It's not that special. We've scored a couple of good goals today. It's slightly disappointing, KFC. Yeah, overpriced chicken and chips at that as well. Started in South Africa, but the chicken logo is common in Portugal. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think it's fair to compare it to KFC. KFC is really nice. KFC, the difference is KFC, you can't, or I can't really cook KFC at home. I don't have a deep fat fryer. If I got one, I would die either in a house fire or from cholesterol. So getting a deep fat fryer is not an option. So me making my own fried chicken, not an option. But you can literally buy the Nando's sauce bottles in the supermarket. And if you really, really want Nando's, you can just put some sauce on some chicken and put it in the oven. And it comes out exactly the same. So at least KFC's offering me something I can't have at home. KFC tastes like cardboard. Then I really want to know where you get your cardboard from, and I'll just sit here eating it. Or just chew the cardboard and get that delicious flavour out of it. Because that would be amazing. If you can actually get KFC flavoured cardboard, get that in my mouth. KFC is pressure cooked. Well, either way, I don't have the means to cook it. Have I got an air fryer? No. Because again, I'm too old to follow these trends. We had an air fryer. It made pretty bad chips. And I was like, well, what was the point of this? I'd rather just get a tray and an oven and use a little bit of spray oil on some potatoes, stick it in the oven, and they're much better chips than what the air fryer did. And probably equally as healthy as chips go, because it's just a little bit of spray oil. Yeah, I don't get the air fryer fad. I'm a grumpy old man today. Twitch have annoyed me. So I'm just in full grumpy old man mode. Oh dear. This is what they've done to me. This is what I've had to resort to. Paprika on chips is very good, definitely. What am I conveniently not reading? Unprotected sets. Lul. I mean, have you seen how busy the chat is? Can you read every message whilst also playing a video game and talking? Don't make me come at you. You will lose. What have I conveniently not read? Let me own you on something else. Mods, get your timeout button ready, but let me own him first. I'll fight you for your yashus. What's a yashu? Just ban that moron. Just ban them. They're a moron. They get banned. Don't even time out. Just ban them. They're done. Can't even spell. I mean, is that what I was conveniently not reading before? Someone wants my yashus, whatever a yashu is. Yeah, it's a milkshake. Yeah, I think so. Oh, I can't believe I missed that first time round. Oh, God. I feel bad now. Have I made a decision on Norwich yet? Yes. We've won 2 games in a row, and now we've got a 5-point lead at the top of the league and a 7-point lead over Notts County. Going into the games, I think it's Swindon and Crawley next, isn't it? Gillingham, then Crawley, then Swindon. Where are Gillingham in the league? See, Gillingham are 6th. This is a tough run-in, but we have hit some decent form again. Just a couple more wins needed. Can I buy a pressure cooker? I mean, I could, but what would I do with one? Other than, I guess, try and make my own KFC. My dad has a pressure cooker that he uses to make Christmas pudding. And that's about it. He gets it out once a year to make Christmas pudding. Which, I mean, I don't know how to break it to him. You can just do it in the microwave. But yeah, what would I use a pressure cooker for? I bought a slow cooker. They got me on that fad. I bought a slow cooker. And it was fine. The food was fine. Took ages. They don't warn you about that. Took absolutely ages. But it was fine. But then you can't put the pot in the dishwasher. So you're left with this thing that's had stew caking onto the side of it for like 8 hours that you have to wash up by hand like a caveman. I might as well have walked it down to a river. So I didn't ever use it again. Banning someone for no reason. Do you want some? I mean, your name is literally Jizzbag. Do you want some as well, Jizzbag? I'm not in the mood for it today. Time Jizzbag out. Who else wants to come at me? Slow cook some water and it'll clean itself. Interesting. Best thing of a slow cooker is the smell of your house 5 hours in. I guess so. The problem is, for me, the chances of me knowing what I'm going to be wanting for dinner the morning of the meal are really quite slim. So I can just imagine myself at like 10 o'clock in the morning chopping up veg to make a stew, and then it get into 6 o'clock and I'm like, I don't want stew anymore. What am I supposed to do with all this stew? Nyon, thank you very much for 14 months. Don't need a slow cooker for Gusto. Exactly. Does the word slow not show it will take a long time? I did. In fact, I'm a liar. I did use it a second time. I used it to make some pulled pork, and that was pretty special. So there are reasons to use a slow cooker. And I can't imagine a scenario where I start cooking pulled pork and then at some point while it's cooking decide I don't want it anymore. That just seems absurd. But even that, it's so... You have to be so organised to get it on in the morning that I'm just never going to do it, am I? Is Gusto better than HelloFresh? I don't know. I've never had HelloFresh. But I've used Gusto for years and really like it. So are they not... I feel like they might be the same company. I might be wrong there. But they basically do the exact same thing. They have the exact same introductory offers. So I suspect they're the same company. Pulled pork and legs of lamb are the only thing done in my slow cooker. I don't really eat lamb. I'm not really... I always feel guilty eating lamb. This is where the vegan tendencies rear their ugly head. One of my favourite things, I was driving home from dropping Amy back at her mum's yesterday and noticed that I drove past a field and there was lambs in it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love the lambs. Lambs are great. I just don't really want to eat one. I'll wait until it's old and about to die anyway, then I'll eat it. Because in my head, that's what happens with pigs and cows and chickens. Oh, they were going to die anyway. They were ill. I want an ill chicken, please. But yeah, for some reason, my line is at lamb, and I don't really eat it. Lamb's like 18 months old. They're big and ugly by then. But still, don't call it lamb then. If you just called it sheep, then I'd eat it. I don't think I'd eat bacon if it was called piglet. Just, you know, use your brain, meat marketing people. Why on earth are you calling it lamb? There's a reason you don't call beef cow and pork pig. You need a word for the meat that allows me to disassociate it from the animal. You've gone lamb. You've gone completely the wrong direction. You've named it after the baby version of your animal. That's the animal I want to eat least. I don't want to eat kitten either. Oh. I know mutton is the word for sheep meat, but you don't go into you don't have a leg of mutton on Easter Sunday, do you? Lamb is the sheep that you most commonly find in the shops. Have I tried monkey before? I haven't. And again, I'm not going to eat monkey. I'm not going to eat ostrich. I'm not going to eat anything that's named after the animal that it's from. Because it's lamb, not adult sheep. Yeah, no, I get that. But call it something else is my point. I don't want to eat a baby sheep. But the meat might be delicious. But when I'm eating it, I don't want to think, oh, because as soon as you say lamb, I think those awesome little critters that I go to the farm places and feed with a bottle of milk and they're really cute and really nice. I don't want to eat one of those. If you got offered to go and I'm a celebrity for big money, would I accept? How much is big money? Probably. I mean, yes is the answer. Probably, yes. Like chicken. Yeah, but like someone said above you, I don't eat chick. If you offered me chick, I'm going to say no. I'll have some chicken. I'm not going to eat chick. $100K is what they're paid. Yeah, I'd probably do it for that. I'd need lots of notice so I could record lots of videos in advance. Because that amount of time of not uploading videos, cool, that'd do some damage. What's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference with what? Food names in Britain come from the Norman invasion. Posh meat that was eaten by French invaders were called by their French name. Because the English were the farmers, the animal is called by its British name. And that's why there's a difference. Interesting. Oh, I wouldn't be eating cockroaches and stuff in the jar. But bearing in mind, I've never seen I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. So I'd probably have to check what they're getting up to first. I ain't eating cockroaches. Forget that nonsense. Yeah, I'm not doing any of these weird challenges. I'll just go there, stick a few books in my backpack. Or is there somewhere I can plug in a Kindle? A Kindle will hold charge for a couple of weeks. I'll load my Kindle up with a few books. I'll just eat. They must give you real food. They're not just going to make you eat cockroaches, surely. I'll just take, like, a party bag of Twixes or something. I mean, do you get paid the same if you get eliminated first? I'd just go on there and be an absolute dirtbag scum human and get eliminated. Just go into the little diary room. I assume they have a diary room. It's reality TV. Go into the diary room and say, look, I'll level with you, UK public. I don't want to be here. I'm only here for the money. Can you vote me out, please? Because I ain't going to do anything. I'm just going to sit there reading a book, and I'm not going to do any of the challenges. I'm not going to interact with anyone. Can you send me home, please? And then they'll send me home because I'm boring. Or I'll reverse psychology myself to win the whole thing with that tactic. Either way, it's win-win. That would just make people keep you in as long as possible. Well, then I'd win, wouldn't I? If I'm being kept in as long as possible, I then win the whole thing. 7 showdowns and 1 I'm a celeb. Yeah, I'll do that. But I ain't doing any challenges. But I'm not jumping out of an aeroplane or any nonsense like that. There's no prize for winning. Yeah, but the prize is being able to go on Loose Women and tell them how I masterminded my way to the win, isn't it? I'd love to win that and then refuse to do all the media stuff afterwards. That'd be great. I don't want to do any of this. I just wanted the money. What would be my worst trial? I don't know what the trials are. I'm not eating anything disgusting. I'm not putting my head, hand... Really, I'm not putting any part of my body in anything disgusting. I'm not lying under anything disgusting. I'm not sitting on anything disgusting. I'm not swimming in anything disgusting. So, yeah, I ain't doing any of that. So, yeah. Don't know. Do they do any challenges that don't involve any of that stuff? I'll do, like, Crystal Maze style challenges. They'll be all right. I'd go on the Crystal Maze. How about a coffin full of rats? Well, no, obviously I'm not doing that. I'm not mental. I'm not getting in a coffin of any kind, full of anything. AOD Armageddon, thank you very much for the sub. We'll do a posture check. There we go. Right, we've dropped points there, which is a little bit of a problem. Because we have 3 games remaining, and we play against the teams in 2nd and 3rd, both away from home, I think. No, Crawley away, Swindon at home. We are 5 points clear of Notts County, who've emerged in this little race, actually. And we are 8 points clear of Crawley. Do we play Crawley next? We play Crawley away now. In fact, if we beat Crawley, we're promoted, aren't we? In fact, if we avoid defeat against Crawley, we're promoted. So we just need to go to Crawley and avoid defeat. That's pretty easy, surely. Will we find out about the big Norwich decision at 4 o'clock? There's a video at 4 o'clock for sure. Would I eat a curry made with mystery meat? No. This is a match you can't spout nonsense in. You're the mod, Chris. Control your chat. Not my responsibility. It's not my YouTube channel this is going on. This is me not spouting nonsense. First about renting and mortgages. No, you already know. If you don't know now, you weren't paying attention last time. Would I eat a parmo? That's that thing from up in the northeast, isn't it? Isn't it like a breaded pork chop or something? Is that what a parmo is? If so, yes, it sounds nice. Chris, they're trying to bait me into talking about things. You see them, they're trying to bait me. It's chicken, cheese, and bechamel fried. That sounds pretty nice. Oh, it's chicken, is it? Rather, I thought it was... That's even nicer. One of my favourite things, which I guess is basically one of those. I like the Bernard Matthews turkey escalopes with the ham and cheese in. They're pretty good. If I want something really school dinnery and grotty, I'll choose that. I haven't played the new WWE game, no. I'll wait until it's on Game Pass. Would you be a nightmare to tour Southeast Asian street food scenes with? I wouldn't have thought so. Is it going on Game Pass? It'll go on Game Pass eventually. Everything does, doesn't it? The last few WWE games have ended up on Game Pass. It might be months, but I don't mind waiting months. I'm not that desperate to play it. Jevon, thank you for the 4 months. And Sneakers, thank you for the Prime as well. If you ever come to Middlesbrough, you have to buy a Parmo. That's a big if. I've never been further north than Leeds. But I do like to try the local delicacy. I had chip spice in Hull. Right, must not win. No, that's the opposite of the situation. Must not lose. Or must win. Let's just go and win. Let's do a football! We're all right that way around. Come on! Come on then. Avoid defeat, and we are in League One. We go back to back. And that would be beautiful. And then we can stop Notts County winning the title. And that would be even better. Because they ruined us. Years gone by. Are Peterborough going down? Absolutely we are. Which means next season will be jolly good fun. Especially once Fergie comes back. Which I imagine will be around October time, usually. Am I still following the Knowledge Legend rule of not being able to search players? Yes. I always play Football Manager like that. Okoronkwo from the spot, and he scores. Lovely, lovely stuff. Yeah, I never use the player search screen. It's not just a non-league legend rule. I just don't see the point of using it. Scouting's better. I don't use the player search screen in the network game. You know, there's never a reason to use it. Scouts find better players than nerds looking at numbers. What's my favourite item from McDonald's? Hash brown. Is it against non-league rules to look at regens from World 1? I mean, we've had a little look at some of the players we've signed for Norwich. We're so far apart. Oh, that's a good goal. The two universes are so separated now that they have to be like 23 or older for Norwich to show up on this database. That is a good finish. Okoronkwo wants to play in League One. Lovely. The only time I use the player search screen is when I'm doing showdown prep, which is why every time I click on it because someone wants me to look for something in the network game, everyone's like, oh, you've got current ability on there, you cheat. Yeah, it's because it's the only time I ever use this screen is when I'm looking at current ability. Do I actually care about attributes? Not at all. They don't really mean anything. It's all to do with how players play in the match engine. Which I guess at some level attributes have a little bit of an effect on, but not as much as nerds will have you think. I'll always use Jorge Hernandez as the example. His finishing attribute, I think, by the end of his time at Bourne was 2, and he was a 50-goal a season striker with a finishing of 2. There's some attributes I care about, like jumping reach and pace and acceleration. But basically, the only attributes that matter are the physical attributes. As far as I'm concerned, if the physical attributes are good, everything else takes care of itself. The match engine loves physical attributes. If they're tall and fast, then they're gonna work well in the match engine. Why was he playing striker? Because he was a striker. Why would I play him out of position? Can I give a quick show of how I scout? I mean, I literally just, they leave the scouts to go and find players and then have a look at the players they've found. Am I scared Crawley are going to win this? No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. What about anticipation, concentration, decisions? Can honestly say I've never looked at them, so don't know how they impact anything. Not really bothered about any of them. I'm not kidding when I say I don't really look at the attributes. You don't need to. You just want big, fast players. That's Football Manager. Oh, look at that space Balogun's in here. Just find the cross, you numbskull. We're going to League One. What about player traits? Never look at them. Never look at them. Never trade them. Would I sign a player who hates big matches and lacks consistency? I wouldn't notice. It wouldn't be something I'd check before signing them. Injury history, don't look. I don't look at attributes, just the player comparison. Actually, yeah, that's a fair point. I do look at the player comparison polygon thing to get a feel for who's better. So I guess that's giving me averages of attributes, isn't it? So I do look at that if I'm comparing two players. So I'd never train round the keeper. I've never trained an attribute. Does Delgado hate big matches? No idea. I'm sure there'll be people amongst you who will have noticed. I have no idea. I do drive Zealand crazy because I do all this and beat him. I consistently prove that my way's better than his way. He just likes his way because it makes him seem smart. I do it my way and consistently prove it's the most successful way. The game is nowhere near as complicated as people will have you believe. But for the security of my income, I need people like Zealand convincing everybody the game's more complicated than it is. Because if everyone discovered just how basic and easy it was, no one would want to watch anymore. So it's good. It's good that the story is that the game is really difficult and complicated. That makes me look smart. Come on. If people realised all you needed was the biggest, strongest players, find the meta tactic and use that, and then never change from it, and that's literally all you need to do, I'd single-handedly take Sports Interactive down. But the reason it's so straightforward is what makes it such an excellent platform for telling stories. Like someone said, it's all about the story. Yeah, it's a great platform for telling stories because I don't really need to concentrate very hard on what's going on in the game. While I'm watching the games, I'm thinking about the story. Oh, look at this. We're doing it easy. I mean, it's not even hard. Look at this. We've come to one of our closest rivals. We've stuck 5 past them. Even Tyler Goodrum's scoring goals. And I think that's only his 6th goal of the season. Even though he's probably going to win player of the year. Who needs to teach rounding the goalkeeper when players can do that? Not only does this secure promotion, I think we've just won the league as well. I think Notts County lost. I think we ended that 8 points clear. So I think we've also won the league. Although the fact that we didn't get the trophy celebration suggests maybe we didn't. I mean, that tells me we've won the league. There's some Kev maths going on here that maybe I don't understand, but I'm pretty sure we've won the league. We just didn't get a trophy celebration. We have to keep this formation. Don't you worry, Vinny. Don't you worry your pretty little head. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Hey! Right, budgets. Let's have all the money, please. Our current budget, I think we had £87,000 of transfer budget, and I want to say £37,000 a week of wage budget. But we weren't anywhere, we were like 10 grand under the wage budget, so there's the danger they won't give us extra. What I want to see here, the ideal scenario, is that I get like £65,000 a week wage budget and £250,000 transfer budget. That'd be perfect. I suspect we're not getting that. So they've kept the transfer budget exactly the same, but increased the wage budget by 10k. I mean, it's not a disaster. It means we go up with £20,000 a week that we can add to our wage budget, which is not the worst scenario to be in. I can live with that. Chapman brings glory to Leamington. Am I a legend at this club yet? Oh, he's a legend! Kevin Chapman, legend. The only legend at Leamington. You know what that means, boys and girls. When we do finally build a stadium, Who are they going to name it after? That would be amazing. I've never had a stadium named after me before. If they just call it Leamington Ground when they finally build it, I'll be gutted. Oh, beautiful. I should probably night myself. Now is a good time to ask. The only problem with asking now is we've not got any money. Where'd you at? Oh, stadium is there, isn't it? Build new stadium. Please. Build Kevin Chapman Arena. Do I have any interaction with people from SI? Do they ever reach out and ask for my opinions? Not on a consistent basis. I mean, we had the last couple of FMs, there's been like a group call with probably 6 or 7 creators and Miles and a few other people from Sports Interactive about a week before the beta, maybe 2 weeks before the beta, where we just have a chat for a couple of hours. And before that, before the pandemic, they would invite a few of us down to do a similar thing at their offices. But that's the only interaction I really have with them throughout the year. It's not a constant dialogue. They give me the game for free. They give me a few other copies to give away. They sent me an Xbox controller last year. They sent me the odd shirt here and there. I had nothing like that this year. But yeah, it's not like a constant thing. I think they're a little bit worried. My speculation would be they're a little bit worried that some of the creators have got a little bit too big now. And they don't really know how to deal with us anymore. Like, we're kind of at the point now where some of the stuff they might expect us to want to do, we kind of want to get paid to do now. Like, I don't know, in the past, they might have asked us to really push the new versus mode and FMFC, which is, it's basically an activity in getting names on their mailing list. They're creating a mailing list of customers so they can then sell to them. And nobody asked me, so I don't know that this is the case, but I would suggest maybe 3 or 4 years ago, they'd have got some creators involved with launching that. Whereas now, I think they probably know that we'd have said, yeah, but we're going to need paying for that because we're doing promotion for you. And I think then they're in a very difficult situation because they can't be seen to pay people who are ignoring the copyright rules within the game. So I get it. I completely get it. Do they get involved in the Streamer Showdown? No. As far as I know. You'd have to ask Ben to be sure, but as far as I know, no. Presumably for a similar reason. Stadium was rejected, was it? Oh, crumbs. Without a sizable increase in our fan base. We don't have a ground, you plum. How? I mean, we must be nearly filling that, aren't we? We are pretty much filling it. And Butts Park isn't even suitable for the new league. Discuss with board. We're no longer limited by anything, so I'd like to revisit the idea of expanding the stadium. We don't have a ground. We're playing in Coventry at a ground that's not appropriate for the league we've just been promoted to. But because the game is broken, there's nothing we can do about it. Don't resign. I'm not Jack. Let's congratulate little Kev on his award. No, we're not in Solihull. I thought we'd gone to Solihull, but apparently I dreamt that, and we are still at Butts Park. Shall we sign Prince Southgate? Who almost went to Preston in January. He's got good acceleration. He's not quick enough, probably. He does score goals. Right, 2 more games to play, and then it's transfers ahoy. They should add a feature that shows an estimate of the club's fan base. I guess the argument for not doing stuff like that is, does the manager need to know? I'd put that in the same category as people who say, wouldn't it be nice if we could, like on Premier Manager, you used to be able to upgrade the ground yourself and choose your own sponsors and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, it was fun to do, especially as a kid. It was really fun to do. But it's not something that the first team manager gets involved in doing. Yeah, we already have the season ticket numbers. We already know how many, we already know what merch sales are. I would say merch sales are a good indication of how big your overall fan base are. I'd like a transfer value graph for players. Yeah, but we don't even have a transfer value anymore. You get players whose transfer value is in the range of 10,000 to 10 million. The graph would be meaningless. Am I doing home FC this year? No. Transfer value doesn't exist in real life. Yeah, exactly. I'd just remove it from the game altogether rather than the range thing we've got now. Just remove it. I think having the ability to ask agents roughly and get a rough range out of agents is fine, but I think if you've had no contact with a player or their agent or their club, I don't think you would have any idea what the transfer range would be. And it would look a lot less silly just saying unknown for transfer value. That would look a lot cleaner than looking at a League 2 player and it's saying their value is 200k to 8 million. Well, yeah, of course it is. So's everyone in League 2. I don't think the scout... Does the scout give you the transfer range? I thought it was there on every player, regardless of if they were scouted. Maybe I've misremembered. Because I only look at players that have been scouted. I've just poured that all down myself. Would you have to add a feature where you can talk with director of football and tell them how much you think your player is worth? We already have that. You can set a transfer value for players, can't you? And I like the fact that that's now a negotiation with players and their agents as well. I mean, that's a nice new thing in recent versions of the game. When you buy a player, the transfer range for you adjusts for the price you paid, which is why when you bring in a player, the transfer range is always higher than what you paid. Okay. Splendid. Right. Is there any way Notts County... Yeah, Notts County can still avoid promotion. That's what we're hoping for now. Our old enemy, Notts County. We don't want them to... Although it is nice to have a rival that follows you through the leagues. I want to see them suffer as well. I want to see them punished for taking Occo Flex off us all those years ago. Have I thought of a new series like the Barca one yet? I mean, Chelsea immediately springs to mind. I'm keeping a close eye on how that all pans out. And having a long think about whether it would be insensitive to do it or not. But from a purely footballing perspective, the current Chelsea situation is very interesting. I mean, there's no rush. I didn't do Barcelona until September last year. But yeah, doing a Chelsea save where they have absolutely no money, no sponsors, and are not able to renew contracts. I don't even know if it's something you could set up to force the game to do. Guess by the time you do it, they'll likely have new, cleaner owners. And if that's the case, that's fine. I've got Schalke lined up as the next save, and that's going to be a little way off yet. But I've definitely keeping a close eye on what's happening at Chelsea. Might be impossible to do Chelsea. They might simply go bankrupt. But then you've got the whole doing a Chelsea Phoenix Club kind of thing, which would again be very, very, very clickable. But Chelsea certainly this summer's Barcelona, when it comes to the hot clickable potential series. And we'll just have to see. And I imagine there'll be plenty of people doing it. Derby I've talked about doing all season long. I just don't think they're a big enough club to be Barcelona and Chelsea level clickable. It would be a fun save, but it's not going to draw loads of numbers. Could you not do a PSG and get the win in the Champions League? I mean, it's a nothing save though, isn't it? It's a one season job. I genuinely think with the squad PSG have at the start of FM22, if you don't win the Champions League with them first season, you probably want to have a word with yourself. That is literally a one season save. Could still do a Chelsea Phoenix style save regardless. Yeah, but I think some of you are slightly missing the point. I'm not trying to come up with new save ideas. I'm trying to come up with the idea that adds 50,000 people to the channel like Barcelona did last year, or maybe not quite 50,000, but I think I was on about 85, 90,000 subs when I did that save. And we're now on about 130. So what's that? It's effectively added 40,000 people to the channel. And still getting views even now. It's probably had over 250,000 views now, that video. We're looking for this year's equivalent of that. And Chelsea is that. On a slightly smaller scale, probably. Depending on what happens. Young Tobias, thank you for the 4 months. Would you say Barca was the best decision I've made during YouTube? No. It was fortuitous. Branding non-lead to legend right from the start was the best decision I ever made. It wasn't even something I did consciously, but now everyone's doing it. Having that branded series that comes back year on year, and the fact I accidentally fell into doing it because to me, it just made sense. Why would I not have a branded series that people expect every year? That was probably the best decision I ever made. Barcelona had the biggest impact on the bottom line, though. As part of the Chelsea idea, make a rule you can only sign Ukrainians. Again, I think you're very much missing the point of why we'd do the save. That wouldn't be a very good save. Get it copyrighted. Get what copyrighted? Non-League Legend's already my unregistered trademark. When Everton gets sanctioned for FFP, that'll be a good one. Yeah, potentially. There's lots of good save ideas, but I think I have most of FM22 mapped out now. I think Non-League Legends got at least another, I mean, potentially 6 or 7 seasons in it. Because regardless of what happens with Norwich, I still want to end at Dortmund. I'm still kind of going to be waiting around for the Dortmund job. And then once I get the Dortmund job, that's going to be 2 or 3 years to topple Bayern. I think Non-League Legend will end up a 20-year save this year, and we're only 13 seasons in. I don't think we're much past the halfway point. And then we've got Schalke, which will be shorter, I think. Schalke, I think we can probably get... If I avoid getting sacked in the first season, I think Schalke, I could probably win the Champions League within 5 years, 5 or 6 years. I think Schalke are a big enough club. I said it when I was managing them in Non-League Legend. I don't think the situation is massively different in real life. I think they're such a potentially big club with so much money flowing around if you do it right. I think, and with such a good youth setup, I think Schalke shouldn't be longer than 5 or 6 seasons. So if we're looking at another 5 or 6 seasons of Non-League Legend, 5 or 6 seasons of Schalke, that takes you most of the way to sort of August, September time, at which point I want, as the football season is starting, whatever the hottest story in football is a new series. I'm not saying they could do it in real life. I'm saying the real life situation in Football Manager, you could do it in 5 or 6 years. Alex, thank you for 3 months. But yeah, I think we probably go Non-League Legend, Schalke, and then as it stands at the moment, Chelsea starting in mid-August as the football season starts. Because I think that's the other thing with that Barcelona style save. You can't start it too early. You need to strike when interest is at its highest right at the start of the season. The thing that made Barcelona so interesting was that they had to let Messi go, not that they were in a financial mess. It was Messi leaving that made it really, really, really interesting. When Mason Mount signs for Arsenal, the day after that is when you're like, oh, okay, now we do a Chelsea save. Right. Notts County look like they're coming up with us, which is a shame. Or when Tuchel goes to United. Yeah, anything like that. You need a big... You need the thing that makes people really take the story seriously. Because at the moment, everyone's saying, like someone's just put in the comment, they're 100% going to get bought out by another billionaire. Yeah, they probably will. At which point, it never becomes a really, really, really interesting Football Manager story. It becomes really, really, really interesting when they lose half their players, or they lose their manager, or, you know, they lose the ground, or they're banned from Europe. When something really major happens, that's when it becomes really, really interesting. Everton being relegated. Yeah, Everton being relegated would be interesting. I've already done Everton this year. I'm still doing Everton this year. I'm not going to do a separate Everton save. Already done Schalke. I did 8 episodes of Schalke. I managed Schalke for less than a week of my real life. It was like 4 days. I think I recorded the first part on the Monday, and on the Thursday I was sacked. Now, obviously, it took a little bit longer for that to come out onto YouTube, but it wasn't even a working week that I managed Schalke for. And I bought all that gear, and I'm going to get some use out of it, damn it. We might lose our final game of the season here. How very sad. I can see someone saying Leeds isn't a good one. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying about Leeds. I think for the vast majority of the YouTube audience, Leeds are a championship club anyway. YouTube does skew quite young. So Leeds have spent most of their conscious lives in the championship. It's not that interesting. It's like Posh getting relegated to League One. Yeah, well, you're a League One club. Who cares? Whereas Everton, I've been in the Premier League or the First Division all my life. Everton would be big news getting relegated. Leeds are bigger than Everton. Leeds are adorable, but there are Leeds fans who think stuff like that. Everton, a Premier League stalwart. Leeds have spent a year and a half there this century. You know, it doesn't really compare, does it? The same size as Everton fan base wise. Who asked about fan base size? I don't remember that coming up. Oh, that's a lovely pass from Arichi. And there we go. We're going to win our final game of the season as well. Yeah. Oldham go down. If Oldham go down, is there enough of a story there? The first Premier League club to find themselves in non-league. I mean, that is interesting, but also most people won't care or know. Arichi's clear again here, boys and girls. Look how slow he is. He's shattered. And Tyler Goodrum. Oh. Is the Gilet first choice for the Schalke? I mean, absolutely. The thing is, by the time I get round to Schalke, it'll be too warm for the Gilet. But you'll know it's always there. We'll have the Gilet hung on the door. Because I can't hang up a shirt with Gazprom or whatever it is on the front, can I? But I could hang the gilet on the door. I think Oldham were a founding Premier League team, weren't they? Or very close to the start of the Premier League. Around about the same time as Swindon were in the Premier League. You could just wear the gilet. Are we too hot to wear a gilet in June? I'll melt. I don't think you realise how hot it gets in here. I'm going to need to bring the air conditioning back in here soon. Gilet, no undershirt. Wow. Right, that is the season over. We now prepare for life in League One. We should probably tweet that out. People would love to hear about that. Ah, Notts County fell out of the automatic promotion as well. Oh, it doesn't get any better than that. That's glorious. Right, where's Twitter? Back-to-back promotion achieved. Now time for some lovely transfers. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Stream outside. That's a bit warm too. I mean, I can tell you exactly when it gets really, really warm in here by going on my Scottish Power app and showing you the usage graph from last year. And then we can play guess the months it gets really hot. Hold on. Make sure this doesn't show my account number anywhere. I don't think it does. Can we see the graph in landscape, please? No. Right, let's play a little game called Guess What Months It's Really Hot and I have to have the air conditioning on in my office. I hate the fact that air conditioning costs that expensive. I have no choice but to use it. Air conditioning is expensive, boys and girls. Right, end of season review. Look at that, the League Two title. Beautiful. Might actually spend some money this summer. So signings, I forgot we only signed Phil Scott this summer. Just gone. He's gonna make us money. I mean, in the same way as Posh called Ronnie Edwards' new stadium, Phil Scott, he needs a new contract. Ah no! I was about to refer to him as our new stadium, but with a year to go, we're gonna have to sell him this summer. We don't really have the choice. We've got to sell him this summer. He might change his mind once the promotion ticks over. But if we get to like the 1st of July and he still won't sign a new contract, I think we have to sell him this summer. But he's obviously signing of the season. He's brilliant. Dector is a close second because he's been very, very good as well. 19 goal contributions from him. And then everyone else has been fine. It wasn't as if we needed a lot of new players. We were just adding good youngsters to our already good side that we knew was going to be good enough to win this league. And it was. The board give me an A+. And it'll be very interesting to see what ground we're playing in next year, because surely we can't play at Butts Park in League One. Money-wise, everything is looking good. We had another cup run again, which is always splendid. And Hughes sold more shirts than anybody else. So 620 shirts. So merchandise sales really aren't an indication of the size of the squad base. Because if we've only got 620 fans, we may as well just go back to non-league. There's your team of the year. I'm fascinated by the fact that Tyler Goodrum has such a high average rating. The highest average rating in the squad by a long way. But he only got 11 goals. I guess 11 assists as well. But a striker with 11 goals winning player of the season in a title-winning side seems baffling. He's a very odd player. He's this year's Juan Jose. But he's won Fans Player of the Year. Big Holman got Young Player of the Year. Phil Scott signing of the season. Dector goal of the season. Hughes top scorer with 34. Arichi most assists with 14, so he came good in the end. Goodrum most man of the matches and highest average rating. And competition awards, somehow Hughes hasn't won top scorer in the division. But Goodrum set the new record for most man of the matches in the season. Okoronkwo is our new all-time record top goal scorer of 69 goals. Nice. And Conte has set a new record for our fastest ever goals scored. Lovely old stuff. This is our all-time best 11. I love the fact that Ryan Colvin's still in it. I think it's probably time Scott partnered Roberts at the back. We'll try and get Roberts again. Oh, in fact, Roberts is available for... Oh, I forgot he went to Brazil. Inexplicably went to Brazil last summer. Can we get him on loan for the year? We're not paying him $5,000 a week in wages. I say inexplicably went to Brazil. Now we all know why he went to Brazil. Paris Magoma has retired. Should never have gone to Cambridge. That's what happens when you go to Cambridge. And Goodrum up front for the all-time best 11. Smashing stuff. Right, Club Vision. They want us to avoid a relegation battle. I genuinely think we'll get promoted again. Because I think there's such little difference between the top of the conference and the bottom of the championship. I genuinely think we'll go up again. The board disagree, but we'll see. The amount of times I've gone back-to-back League 2, League 1 over the years. Goodrum, Worcester and Gilks are our team leaders. Plans for next year. We better tell the boys we're just going to avoid relegation. Because you have to tell them what the board say. We're good enough to not get relegated. Way to be optimistic. We're much better than limiting ourselves to a relegation. Phil, I love you. We should aim to steer ourselves well clear of any trouble. There you go. That's satisfied, Phil. Good boy, Phil. Hopefully that'll be enough to make him want to stick around. All right. Where are we going now into season break? Doesn't say. Oh, no, it's just the players going away. I'm going to say, I want to go somewhere exotic. And now we have moved to Solihull. Can we have our own ground, please? Ah. One day we'll take this club back to Leamington. But this is not that day. So we left Leamington in 2024 to go to Butts Park Arena in Coventry. We've been there 7 years, and after 7 years in Coventry, we're now even further away in Solihull. Is what I think about that. One day, when we outgrow Bob Faulkner Park, which realistically will be when we get hit the Premier League now, because if that ground can be expanded to 13,000, like it just said, I bet we are the ones who pay the bill to have it expanded to that on the way up. But that won't be big enough for the Premier League, I don't think. So when we get to the Premier League, we can finally build Kevin Chapman's cupboard, which is what I want to call it when we get there. How far is Solihull from Leamington? It feels like it's quite far. Solihull. Directions from Leamington Spa. It's not that far, I guess. 22 miles away. A 32-minute drive. Is there a direct train? There is a direct train. 19 minutes on the train. So I guess not disastrous. It's not actually much further than Coventry, is it really? Where else might we move to after we've outgrown Leamington? Not Leamington, after we've outgrown Solihull. We should go to the Rico. We'll buy that. We're never going back to Leamington, are we? Ridiculous. This isn't Solihull's ground in real life. This is Solihull's new ground that they built in game. So it doesn't matter that the real life one's miles from the station. This one might be next to the station. Might be built on top of the station for all we know. The steel man's just driven past with his loudspeaker going, asking me to put any fridges or cookers outside. I need both of them for my food preparation. The Rico is now the CBS Arena. It's still the Rico. I'm never going to remember to call it that. Right, we need a recruitment analyst. Okay. So I guess you, Wayne, you get the job. Not if you want too much money, you don't. Come on, let's be sensible. We're only a little club. We have limited budgets. Yeah, you're not supposed to put your fridge out when they ask. You don't have to buy a new fridge every week. Grounds are weird. I had a new ground built, played there for 1 year in the Championship, then got into the Prem and moved from Gloucester to Vicarage Road, Watford. Nice. Yeah, we've had some weird short stays at grounds before. Wow. I'm not offering any of these contracts. Who has lost their mind in this scenario? Chris, not. I think your time might be up. How long have you been with us? Forever. Well, Chris, it has been nice knowing you, but we are going to be getting a new head of youth development because you are trash. Toodle pip. Feel sad. But, you know, we're outgrowing some of these people on the way up. What category is head of youth development in? There we go. Yeah. We don't sack them based on attributes. But when someone is obviously not up to the job anymore and does something dumb like that, then that's when they get sacked. So we keep close eyes on the likes of assistant managers, directors of football, that kind of thing. If we get a load of injuries, we'll have a look at the physio. Hopefully one of my former players wants to be a head of youth development. Oh, wow. Is that... Oh, that's the recruitment analyst. Thought that was a new head of youth development coming straight in. Tim, thank you for 28 months. Wowzers. Wowzers. What did he do? He recommended we signed every youth player at the club, even though none of them had more than 2.5 star potential. I have never seen that recommendation before. Someone's just said that it happens every year. But, yeah. We ain't doing that. Right, we've got some new sponsorship deals in, which is nice. New scouting budget. Let's get a package, shall we? We'll have, for the summer, you know what? For the summer, we'll have that package. Just for the summer. Probably to fill out the squad if the youth team's small. I mean, the youth team is small, but still, I'd rather not have one than have a bunch of players we're never going to use. We'll just bring in our own young players. Pump stuff, 30 months. Wonderful stuff. 30 months, eh? Almost time to start school soon. Even a better head of youth development would have suggested you sign them all. Well, all it did was draw attention to him and got him sacked. Little Holman wants to leave, does he? But he's out of contract anyway, so yeah, Little Holman can leave. That's fine. I'm waiting for the season to tick over before we do transfer contract renewals. I don't want to have a load of upset players like Scott who don't think we're big enough for them. Plus, I don't really want to commit to a lot of transfers until we've renewed the likes of him, because I'll give him $3 or $4 grand a week to get him to stick around because he's that good. So now my director of football is saying the same thing. Is there a benefit to having a youth team full of players that aren't any good? I mean, I might just do it. Now you've said that we won't have a youth team if we don't. A youth team might be handy to have. Yeah, I'll let him handle it. Poor old Chris got sacked for nothing. Have you got a really good player skewing the stats? Yes, Scott. Scott is the one doing the skewing. Right, you're not leaving on loan. If you want to leave, you're going to leave permanently. Get out of here. Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. I don't want to offer you a new contract. I want to offer you the chance to get out of my sight. I guess having those players under contract will mean we won't have it happen next year. And we'll eventually go from having a terrible youth team, but at least it's a youth team, to a youth team that gradually gets better in time. That's my thinking. I mean, we didn't... If they're only willing to pay 38k, offer me 38k. We'll take 38k. Get this asking... Why has he got an asking price? I haven't set him an asking price. I don't care how much he leaves for. I just want him to go. If you're willing to offer 38k, offer 38k. Let's see what happens, shall we? There we go. Lots of clubs want him. Smashing. We got £250,000 just for participating in the FA Cup. That'll do. That'll do very nicely. Now offer at 50. I'm not that bothered about glitching it. I've done that when I've really needed to. We've got plenty of money. We'll take the 38k. I'm the polar opposite of Zealand and everything. Exactly. I win a lot. Diego Walsh has lifted a trophy. What a wonderful man. When do these youth players come in? I've done a video on how to sell players. I know how to do it. It's just boring as hell, both to do and to watch. I mean, you know, I know what to do. I now offer him out for a little bit more and decline all but one of those offers. And when someone comes in for that, decline the lower one, offer him out for a little bit more, and slowly but surely ladder them up to a higher level until you get to the point when no one's willing to offer anymore. I know how to do it. I'm not going to sit on a stream and do it. God, I'd fall asleep doing it. Never mind what would happen to you not having to watch that. That is dull. I don't really want to trigger his extension. He's rubbish. So he can leave. Arichi is an interesting one because he started terribly, but did start to do all right towards the end of the season. He was expensive. Now they want no contribution. Well, there you go then. That becomes a no-brainer then. My save's taken an odd turn as I'm currently waiting on Tycoon-owned Accrington to sack their manager so I can leave Dortmund and make Stanley the biggest club on the planet. That's brilliant. The thing is, if they're still like League 2 conference level, wherever Accrington are, a Tycoon for them might not be like a Newcastle Tycoon or a Manchester City Tycoon. A Tycoon takeover at someone like Accrington could just be he's got £3 million off of a Euro Millions win in his syndicate. It might not be a case of flowing all the way up to Champions League level. No, the VPN hasn't affected the language. It is Twitch have done it themselves. It happened as they set up my stream team. The last email where they say, because they struggled to set it up, I was back and forth with them. It was a chain of like 15 emails getting my stream team set up. Then they sent me the email saying, I've set it up. And then the email adding the other 3 people to the stream team, those emails were the first ones that came in Turkish. And then from then on, every email was in Turkish. So whatever they did to set the stream team up that wasn't working properly up until that point, set the language to Turkish on the account. Right, Manny Dale. Looks like he's our new head of youth development. Come on, accept a reasonable contract. Ah! And my director of football's brought one in before old Manny could start. Let's see if he's any good. I mean, he's better than what we had before. He's not as good as the guy we were bringing in ourselves, but that's fine. He's an improvement. You need to watch yourself, Pat. Goodness me. Patty, patty, patty. Right. Let's just make sure that the appropriate people are doing the appropriate jobs on here. What I will do is perhaps get my head of youth development, bring in some youngsters. As our own youth development is so poor and we've got a little bit of money, particularly over this summer, it might be handy for him to bring in any free transfer youngsters that he notices just to fill the youth team out a little bit. Now we're getting to that point. Terrific. Just to expand, Zealand does do the selling thing on his streams, but hypes about it and then does cat jams. All of that sounds so boring, and I don't know what a cat jam is, but you can be damn sure I'm never going to do one. I'm an adult. I know Zealand has his little posse, and you're all welcome to hang out with the posse. But I'm streaming for grown-ups. If you're a grown-up, welcome along. Right, Little Holman. We will trigger his extension. Don't knock the cat jam until you experience the cat jam. I don't even know what it means, but I can be really, really confident whatever it is, I wouldn't enjoy it. Oh dear. And if an in-game thing is so boring that you have to do a gimmick from outside of the game to make it interesting, maybe don't do the boring thing, then you don't need the weird gimmick. Do a catch-up. I don't even know what one is. Right, Okoronkwo. The question we've got with someone like him, now we've had back-to-back promotions, is are we going to find somebody better? Yes, he got 18 goals, but He's 26. And I think we have to back ourselves to find somebody better. So we'll let him go. Diego Walsh, we definitely let go. I'm leaving Okoronkwo for a minute while I think. Yeah, he can leave. This guy. No, he can leave as well. 3-star potential is not enough to keep you around the club. Mario Decker. He's quite quick and can play up front. We'll give him 1 more year. Which is all he wants, which is handy. Don't really want to give him a pay rise. And then John Richards has got lots of potential, so we don't even need to look at him. He definitely stays. Don't know who he is, but he definitely stays. He can leave. He can stay because he's got decent potential. Again, we don't want to give too much in the way of pay rises to these youngsters, because I like to not spend money. You know, I'm very financially responsible when I play Football Manager. It's what I'm most known for. Well, you can leave then, Flower. Yeah. Goodness me. Not that desperate to keep you. Mr. 3.5-star potential thinks he's any good. My word. There you go. You know how to. I mean, you're leaving. Get out of here. Get out of here. And get out of here. Right. Get them gone. Arichi confirmed. Excellent. Next time you stream with Zealand, ask him to do a cat jump for you. I mean, no. I get it. You like Zealand streams. You ain't getting that here. These are Kev streams. Don't ask me to do Zealand things. Just like you wouldn't ask him to be good at the game, i.e. Kev things. Here we listen to lift music and watch a pro. Exactly. You tell you what, you can have a traffic update, but you don't get these with Zealand. Whoever he is. A car's just gone past. I mean, breaking news. We have just had a car go past. There is one parked outside, but other than that, there are a couple of spaces out there. But we did just have somebody go past, which is, I mean, frankly, remarkable. Oh, look, I've won Manager of the Year. Look how happy I am about it. And we've got teams in the PFA League 2 Team of the Year. On the Okoronkwo subject, I'm mulling this one over still. So, strikers. He's going to want decent money. He's on a lot of money at the moment for a player who only started 19 games last season. Yes, he got 18 goals, but ahead of him in the pecking order, we've got Theodros, who's still got potential. Hughes, who got 34 goals last year and still has a little bit of potential. Plus, we've got Conte, who always looks good when he plays and has potential. And Goodrum, who's just won Player of the Year. And will probably bring a striker in. I think Okoronkwo goes. I don't think we need to keep him around. I think it's a big call for a player who's been important But sometimes you have to make those big calls, boys and girls. I'll pass on your feedback. I mean, I'll tell him during the network game like I always do. He knows I'm better at Football Manager than he is. He's seen how many showdowns I've won. He knows it and he can't stand it, and it's glorious. Right, all the new players are arriving in a couple of days, which is nice. Couldn't bring Manny Dale in, much sadness. Forgot quite how many we'd pre-arranged. I wonder how many of them are strikers. Really hammering home the point we don't need Okoronkwo. I mean, we've got this. Dave just let himself in. Oh, Anna's there. Hello. You seem to have let Dave in and then stood in his spot. So I either have to boot him out or you could go and tidy the kitchen. Well, then I can't give you anything to do, but you can't stand there unless you're taking him out first. But he's knocking all my stuff. Goodness me, Dave. It's no smoking yourself. Sidecar passenger. You're annoying me a little bit. Do you want to just lower it a little? Or I might time you out so you can think about all the ways I'm better than Zealand. And then come back with a list. Just tone it down just a smidgen. I tell you what, let's play a game called Don't Mention Zealand Anymore this afternoon. And if you can win at that game, I won't time you out. I think that'll be a fun game for you to try and play. And of course I'm smug. I am the 7-time streamer. I've won so many showdowns, I forget how many. And I'm dominating all over the network game. So, you know, I'm pretty great. Right. Why? Oh, this is the guy we fell out with. I tried to offer him a contract, but he was stupid about how much money he wanted. We'll try him again. I remember shouting about flowers at him. There you go. Now he's accepted the contract I offered him before. That'll learn him. Conhow, thank you for 14 months. Why does someone come to a stream and just non-stop talk about another streamer? Usually it means they've got a crush on the other streamer and need everyone to know about it. That's probably the situation we're in. Right. I just want these players to arrive. I want to see how good they are. It's all well and good them looking really good when they're in on a week's trial. There's my posture check. Oh! I'll talk about you in other streams. It makes sense. Story checks out. Right, we don't need to do any international instructions. It's the summer. You think you need a lot of players for League One, or am I happy with the core? We don't need to go out and sign anyone specific. I'm happy with the team. What we'll do is what we did last summer and just keep an eye out for any really good youngsters that we can sell on for a profit. The likes of Phil Scott. That's the kind of signings we want this summer. We're not looking for anyone in particular. I have a crush on my husband. Should I tell him? It could make things weird. Is it worth risking the way things are? You know, I would just don't rock the boat. Things could get weird. You might be better off just carrying on being married. Generally, I watch both of you equally. Just find it comical, the difference in the way you play. Well, like, next time Zealand streams, and I have no idea when he streams because I've never watched one of his streams, but I'll send a mole to watch how much you talk about me in his chat. And if you talk about me as much as you've talked about him, then we're all right. So I need a volunteer to be the mole. Go and check Zealand's next chat. And as long as you're talking about me just as much, then we're good. I think he's streaming later today. No one knows. All right, are these all players who are out of contract, or are these? No, these are potential loans. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at all these fancy new football boys. So, Andy Davies. Where's the 5-star potential gone? Wow. What a load of trash they were. It looks like the Premier League youngsters have already been cut off as an option. We're already too good for them. We got one good year of that, and now we're too good for them. At least we've filled out the under-23s a little bit. We've got plenty of reserve options that we might be able to sell on for a few quid. But I don't think any of them are going to go on and become superstars for us, which is a real shame. Now we've made an offer for a bird. Bailey the bird, off of Notts County, eh? Would be our 6th best central midfielder. Well, then we're not going to sign him then, are we? We're not going to spend a club record transfer on someone who's not going to come in as our best player. That would be madness. Right. Has the season ticked over yet? No. When does the season tick over? I want to be able to offer Scott his new contract. I guess it's when you get the prompt to do it is usually when you can do it, I guess. Did not win the playoff. No, didn't even get through to the final. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Because the problem with even talking to our director of football at the moment, they're only going to offer me League 2 quality players, so we can't even really do that yet. We're just waiting until the 1st of July. My director of football finds good players make sensible bids, but I typically just don't think I need them. Perhaps early in the... Yeah, I mean, it varies. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. You do get some absolute superstars come through from them, though, so I like to leave the option on for them to make offers for players. Right, are we going to sell Gilks again? Probably not. Because he has kind of re-established himself as a starter for us. If he gets in a grumpy, we'll let him go. But we want to sell him for at least as much as we sold him for last time. Then we want to loan him back again. He knows the deal when he leaves. He goes for 150 grand, then comes back on loan until he gets released, and then we sign him permanently. That's going to be how the rest of his career works. That giant Batman pop in the background is ace. It really is. They're in Tesco at the moment. That's where I was in. I nipped into Tesco on the way to see the movie on Saturday, and they had them by the till. And it's like, oh, well, now I've got to buy that, haven't I? They knew what they were doing. They saw me coming. But it is a very cool pop. It's not quite as big as the really big ones that they had at Comic-Con a few years ago. That was a 10-inch one. I think they had 18-inch ones at Comic-Con that I wanted to get last year, but they were all gone by the time I got to them. So he's like a mediumly large Batman. Oh, see, this is more like it. Now we can sell Gilks. Because this guy is going to be our new starting left back. Is Sunderland still there? It was Sunderland who wanted Gilks, wasn't it? Do you still want to give me 100 grand for him? Because we've found a good option. Let's just make sure. Oh, look at these fees he wants. I'm going to try and negotiate this a little differently. Yeah, see, I knew he didn't want enough money before. Oh, God, I'm going to wreck this, aren't I? If I take too much of this off. Put that up a little. And max out the agent fee. Ah! Oh, well. We were never going to get him on £1,000 a week before. He was just going to turn it down. So I guess one way or the other, it was going to fall through. That one was falling through anyway. I didn't want him with all those clauses on. Got to think of the long-term future of the club. We will keep an eye on him though, because he was great. So once the 1st of July comes round, in fact, he's been released already. Can we bring him in on trial for 4 weeks? And then as we get towards the end of the trial, we can just bring him in permanently. I think it's... Oh, there you go. See, we were never going to get him. We'd offered him £1,000. He had all these other clubs in for him. He's gone to Huddersfield in the Championship on 2.1k. So, yeah, we were never in a million years getting him. So, I won't hear people say I messed it up. We were never getting him. Much sadness. Would have liked to have got him. But it's good to see my director of football is identifying decent talent. We only need a couple of players like that this summer, and I'll be a happy little chappy. Yes, the new Batman is a good movie. I enjoyed it very much. Do we want a Panucci camera? 34 years old? What business have I got with a 34-year-old? Get out of town. I'd have had question marks if they were 24. You can sign players on free from your country a month before. You don't need to wait. You miss all the good players. Disagree. You don't miss all the good players. That's how we got Scott. We didn't miss him. My Twitch description does say 6-time Streamer Showdown winner. I only change it every 3 wins, or else I'm just forever changing it. It's a lot of hassle going in there and changing it. So because I win so often, I just change it every 3 wins. Plus, we're less likely to get these players while we're still showing as a League 2 club. Once we're officially a League 1 club, we are more likely to convince some of these better players to come and sign for us. See, he looks decent. He's the kind of player I'm probably not going to be against spending money on, although a 5'10" centre-back is a little bit troubling. But he is better than any other centre-back we've got at the club. Actually, he's not. He's better than any holding midfielder we've got at the club. Then he can come in and play that role. He'd be a club record signing. Playing in the National League for Boston at the moment. I'm willing to see how this plays out. Right, can we set Okoronkwo for release? It's very sad. But he's leaving. Am I definitely on the lowdown next showdown? Who knows? I don't find out what I'm doing or if I'm in a showdown or not until the Sunday when they make the announcements. So, who knows? Do you think they're brave enough to have me on the lowdown? Think they'll be able to cope with me? Do you think they'll be able to get me to buy a polo shirt? They haven't asked me to yet, so if they leave it too late, I just won't be able to get one. But obviously I don't own a polo shirt because I don't play golf or have fights at the football. Fringe player, no. Anyone who comes in and identifies as a fringe player, sling your hook, not wanted. Will you still do some scouting so you can say whether or not the draft picks are good? Well, we've drafted pretty much the whole of Europe already. I'll already know. I've done my research from before, haven't I? This guy also doesn't seem very good. Holy smokes. It's annoying that it's non-negotiable. I want to be able to negotiate a loan back. Obviously, we can't turn down that kind of money, though. Or can we? Let's have a conversation with him. See what he thinks his value is. Okay, he thinks his value is quite high. So he'd be happy with me asking for up to 4.3 million. So I think what we do is offer him out for 4.3 million with a loan back length of a year and see what happens. Wants to talk about the current asking price. Phil, would that be the one we literally just agreed to? Phil? Is that the one we literally 2 minutes ago just agreed to? I hate this game sometimes. Absurd. I'm not agreeing to these crazy. I mean, this is ridiculous. Ugh! So now we've upset him. So now any chance we had of offering him a new contract is gone, and we're going to have to accept anything for him. So frustrating. Let's see if anyone makes the offer. That's exactly what happened with Paris Magoma all those years ago. We went through that exact same process. An offer comes in, we turned it down. We went onto the asking price thing. We found an asking price that literally said he would be happy with. Look, it doesn't say it anymore. He now thinks it's way above his value. But a minute ago, it said he was happy with it. So we set it at the level it says he's happy with. Then immediately he's unhappy with it. And now he wants an asking price at 900,000, despite knowing we just turned down 1.7 million. So I'm just going to take the asking price off. So stupidly broken. I don't want Pavel Pelk. Right, he's dropped his concerns. Can we now offer him a new contract? No. We still need to tick over into League One. Then we might get him a new contract. Because the problem is, if he's out of contract next summer, we get nothing for him. And we're not really in a position to not take big money like that. Right. New contract ahoy. Obviously, Theodros gets one. Because he's Theodros. And he gets a job for life. Goodrum will probably go the way of Okoronkwo. Hughes will keep an eye on this year. It's going to be difficult knowing if these players are going to be making the step up. Wooster definitely gets a new contract. Especially because he seemingly doesn't ever want any money. It's ridiculous how little money this guy wants. Get rid of that. You're not having a relegation release clause. Not that we're going to get relegated. But there's no circumstance where I sell this guy for £80,000. Phil Scott, come on. See if my director of football can offer him a contract. Nope. Oh. Right. We leave everyone else as they are for now. Urgh. Right. It's nearly the 1st of July. Which means football players. Yeah, Dave, get out from under my table. Thank you. I don't want you on the treadmill. You are a dog. Dogs do not use treadmills. Yes. Right. Keep the scout reports coming in. Ah! No, don't end the meeting. Keep doing scouting, please. Scout them all. Scout everybody. Scout them! Excellent scouting. This is lovely scouting work we're doing here. This is sad. Oh! Dave's upset about the Phil Scott negotiations. He might be. We just have to hope we get another big offer in for him. And this time, we know we can't do any shenanigans. We're just going to have to accept the offers. Or run the risk that, I mean, we gamble on getting promoted again with him in the team and risk letting him go for free, but gambling on him maybe sticking around if we're in the championship. It'll probably just go to Brazil with Roberts. The director of football absolutely hasn't caught up with the fact that we've been promoted yet, which is a little bit alarming. Bum, 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 bum. I've just been reminded that I will need to end the stream a little early today because we're taking Andy for his second COVID jab thing. So probably about 3:30. Give it another 20 minutes or so. We'll wrap the stream up. We will be back tomorrow, though. We're going to get a good bunch of streams in this week. We won't be streaming Wednesday because I've got Lucy here all day Wednesday. We're going to go and do some shenanigans. But Tuesday we'll have a normal stream. Thursday we'll have the network game. Friday we should have a normal stream. So getting back into the swing of a regular stream routine now. We don't do bins on Monday. The weather is nice. It's just nice and summery out there. He didn't really enjoy his first COVID jab, and he knows he's not going to enjoy this one as well. But he also knows we've booked Disneyland for May, and if he doesn't have his COVID jab, he ain't coming. And he's been asking to go. This is the Disneyland trip that was first cancelled in May 2020. He last went in May 2019. He's desperate to go back. He asks every single day. And last week we finally booked it for early May. So it's like 6 or 7 weeks time. We're going to Disneyland. And so he knows he needs to get his injection. So he asked. So he won't enjoy it, but he's going to go and get it today. And we should be good. What's the season preview? Excellent question. 17th. That's not too bad. Wooster still best goalkeeper in the division, like he has been in the last 2 divisions we've played in. How good is Tom Wooster? This is ridiculous. Everywhere he goes, he's the best goalkeeper around. And I think Frenchie kept him out of the team for a year. Theodros has his new contract. I mean, these are the 2 pillars of Leamington. Wooster and Theodros. We build the whole club around him. How are we doing on the old pennies? Plenty knocking around. He's under 18, so he doesn't need to have 3. Just having the second one is fine. We did check. What I do need to check, which I haven't checked yet, is if me and Anna will need to have a 4th one before we go. Because it will have been more than 6 months since we had our boosters when we go. But I've not heard any talk of there being 4th jabs. So I'm not sure what the situation is there. Do I think we'll go up again? Definitely. No 4th jabs are required in the EU. Excellent. Well, then we should be good. Right, so just tell them what we knew we had to tell them. Easy peasy. These meetings are the most pointless part of the game because there's always a right answer and you just have to click it. Ooh, we've had increases to staff that were allowed. That's handy. Let's get some more coaches in. Get some more performance analysts in. Get another scout in. This is awesome. Get another recruitment analyst in. Lovely, lovely, lovely. We don't want him. We don't need to leave until 4. Probably later than that. It's only like 10 minutes away, isn't it? Yeah, so probably not even that early. I'm ending the stream at 3:30 so I can...
Just to let him know.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a clue and then
You tell him he ain't going just yet. I mean, to be honest, if we get there early, I don't think it's a disaster, but tell him 4. Sam, thank you for 10 months. Oh, Okaronquo's gone. Much sadness. Yeah, I saw that Disney have said you don't need to wear masks anymore. Which is handy, because if it's as hot as it was there last time, don't really want to be wandering around wearing a mask all day. Bear in mind, it's like 95% outside, and you're never that close to people. I'd probably say it's just instinct to put a mask on when we go indoors now, but I can't imagine a situation where I'd want to wear a mask wandering around outside. Yes, we did get promoted. We are in League One. This is the League One summer transfers. There's a villain for postponing the new club reveal in Unleashed Legend. What makes you think there's a new club reveal? As of Saturday's video, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. Today you'll find out what I decided. Right. We don't want this guy. What we do want is free transfers off the director of football. Only young ones. We don't want old men. Ugh, they're doing the thing where they offer all the old men. I hate that. I hate it when they offer the old men. Oh, these really are all old men. Right, we're only going to offer trials to the ones that are actually young enough for me to consider signing. And then we'll have a look to see what's on the existing scout reports as well. I don't think we need to do a lot in the way of transfers, but we have a lot of money knocking around. Oh, we can get Pharrell Williams. That's interesting that he's decided to get much younger and become a footballer. I think 28 and under is fine. We're not getting any of these pensioners. I don't ever upload a bit late. My videos are always scheduled for 4 o'clock every single day. I haven't uploaded a video late. It might have happened twice in 6 years. I don't upload late. They're always out dead on 4. The only times it hasn't happened is when it's been YouTube errors. Yeah, sometimes YouTube might not show it immediately, but that's not me uploading late. All right. We'll get this bunch in first. Kevin's a machine, exactly. I mean, ultimately, it's a very easy job, isn't it? Making a 20-minute video to come out every day at the same time. It's pretty hard not to just do it. Should we sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin? I hear he's quite good. See if any of these boys want to come in on trial. That would be excellent. Can we offer Phil Scott a contract yet? Now we're in League One? No. Rubbish. Hello? What the hell is this? The hell is this?
I don't know.
Got our address backwards. Got a strange looking parcel.
Walkers are sending me vouchers.
Excellent. Should get the overhead camera on, but it's angled funny at the moment, so I'm not going to. I think I might know what this is. I did order a thing. I love to order things. Ah! Yeah. It's my new mat that I'm going to use for my Pokemon unboxings. What a mouse mat. Roll that back up. That was off Amazon, I think. I ordered that ages ago. I ordered that so long ago, that's not even the one I thought it was, because I ordered another one like 3 days ago. So I thought, I really do need like a permanent one. I don't want to use the game mats that we use on the desk and keep moving them. I just want one permanently on the desk and then one permanently for game mats. I ordered another one, and it's not this one. This one I ordered like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But it is great. Do like me an Evolution. Right. Leave all them as they are for now. Did those trialists come in? Not yet, it seems. There they are! Let's have a little look at what we've got here. So, 25-year-old. See, he's a deep lying forward. He's going to step on Goodrum's toes. But look at all that championship experience. Thing is, these kind of players are going to be expensive, aren't they? He's a poacher, but he's too slow and too old. Not interested in him. 22 years old. This is a bit more like it. Oh, he's a right winger. He's off of Norwich. Elliot Thorpe, too old. Andre Givet. Ralph Priso. I mean, he must be so young at the start of the game. We're in 2031 and he's a real player. But there's not a chance he's getting a work permit, surely. So what's the point in him even being here? He's a right back. Oh, so many goodies to choose from. So many goodies. Right, let's just have a look to see what else we had. I know these are going to be expensive, so I don't want to commit to a load. But what I do want is anyone who's 5-star potential that we've not already made an offer for. So we'll just get them in as well. Oh, of course, we've got this thing now where you have to click in a certain place. I don't know how many of them we'll be able to get in on trial straight away. He does have 38 Canada caps and might actually get a work permit. Maybe. Although 38 caps for a 28-year-old isn't a huge majority of matches played, is it? Unless all those caps were in the last year or two. If they're spread over his 10 years of active being a footballer, That won't be enough. There you go. Got a few younger ones. This is a bit more like it. The boys with potential. I've somehow managed to get more than 30 players in on trial here as well. Right, hold on. Anyone who's showing there as championship potential, they get offered a contract straight away. Because that's all the information I need to know they're going to be worth money. We're not even going to negotiate with them. If they're potential championship standard, get them in as a first priority. And then worry about everyone else with how much money we've got left. Right. Get him in. Championship standard again. That's what I'm talking about. We want these players who are going to be with us for the next few years. Don't want League One potential. League One potential is pathetic. Right. Oh, there's a lot of players here on trial all of a sudden. Oh! I think the most sensible thing to do is to start sorting through all these players from the start of tomorrow's stream, rather than getting halfway through now and then ending the stream. So I know I said I'd end at 3:30. We're ending a few minutes before 3:30, but then we can have a proper look at these tomorrow and decide who we're going to bring in. This is a very important summer. We've got £20,000 a week of spare budget to play with. We've got the biggest transfer budget we've ever had. And we're trying to go back to back to back to prove it's possible. The media already think we're a good bet for mid-table. So we're going in the right direction, but we will do that properly tomorrow. Don't forget, boys and girls, 4 o'clock today. You are not going to want to miss the YouTube video. You get to find out what happened or what I decided one way or the other. And then I'll see you back here tomorrow afternoon and we'll continue with this summer. All of a sudden, I've got a cough. Thank you very much for watching, folks. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Toodle pip. Bye-bye.